EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals. Two teams that don't like each other much. One will go to Super Bowl 53 as we're underway in the 2019 NFC title game. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs can open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Dancing to his left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now it's Peterson. And he spins through. And a nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Pushes him over. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Johnson found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
Gone. Here we go now. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan, and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
From the gun on third down is Rosen. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They snap it at 1. Now Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. His sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue line.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And that'll be caught by Gresham for a Cardinal touchdown. Jermaine Gresham from 19 yards away. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Dawson tacks on the point after, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey,
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Forced out to his left. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they're going to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and throwing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action here with Rosen. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. This is Logan. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Sack back at the 7. Ted McKinley in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And Dawson's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved though if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Ryan on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It'll buy some time right. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down, Rosen lets it go for Nelson. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cardinals. J.J. Nelson, 73 yards. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Ryan on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's go. Gun.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Extra point try now for Dawson. Dawson able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, Are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
22.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right?
I'm ready. I'm 25. Let's go.
On second down, here's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Johnson, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Johnson on the counter. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Rosen. It's caught. Nelson. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Gun! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And Dawson's kick is good. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Now, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They run with Logan. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he hasn't moved quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run again with Logan. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Gone!
On 3rd down, that's Logan. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Johnson, and he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run it here with Logan. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Detroit! Detroit! 45.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Hey. 4 down.
Here's Edmonds. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Again, they run with Edmonds. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Dawson's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second
half? Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. On first down, Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here's Ryan looking deep for Julio. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game. And to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He goes underneath to Freeman. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Buda Baker with a pick.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Logan, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards. Makes it 3rd and 10.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Hot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be taken at the 10. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the intercept.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Dylan Cole. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All right, here we go.
And they'll run it here. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, it's Logan. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Now let's go.
Now Johnson, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On the carry, it's Edmonds. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Edmonds. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So out come the Falcons now. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Flush to his right. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. To throw is Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. A quick throw, but incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Second and 10 now, Ryan. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Hey, let's go. 12.
On 1st down, Ryan throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Jonathan Hankins. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Ryan to throw. Connects with Sanu right side. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. From the gun, it's Ryan. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They run with Edmonds. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Charles, let's focus for a second on the losing side. In a couple months, they may look back and say, wow, it was a great season. But right now, I guarantee they're feeling no sugarcoating on this one.
And you can already see the T-shirts at training camp next year, can't you? Unfinished business. Because they've got to find a way to motivate these guys to go through all the same pain, right? All the same tough stuff, and find their way back and give themselves a chance to win this game again next year.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.